Hello everyone and welcome back to Calmlands. This is the multiplayer co-op with Nordic farming and we've reached episode number 49. Today we are starting at the cow farm and we're going to be buying some new trailers for our trucks, and the reason for that is we've recruited some drivers from the AutoDrive Academy, and we need some trailers that are going to unload without tipping, as it's going to make life a lot easier. I mean, we're not going to get stuck as much, and we'll show you what you mean later on once we get it all set up and rolling. But the main job for today is we've got South Bank field to harvest. We've got canola in there and it's all ready to harvest, and it's the first field that's ready to harvest from our sort of latest season of crops. So we're going to buy the trailers, get the AutoDrive Academy drivers set up nicely, and then we'll be starting our harvest promptly. Take the opportunity whilst I'm up here to repair the truck because it's looking a little bit shabby. So go for a bit of a refuel as well. Aha, and you'll see our two trailers have emerged. Nordic has bought them and it's cost us 125,000, 62,500 each. And these are really going to help our new drivers who are actually going to be AutoDrive drivers. And Nordic has done a grand job setting up the routes and waypoints for us to use AutoDrive. And that's going to help with the efficiency of Calm Farm because we've grown so big now. The jobs just get bigger and bigger. And as it's only Nordic and I, we are sort of wanting to take out some of the more labour intensive jobs like carting and various other things to make our life a bit easier. So we will just do an about turn in the cow farm yard, and Nordic and I are going to set off our workers. So you might have seen that I had this menu open in the bottom right. This is how we can configure and manage our auto drivers, and I'm going to select the destination on here as South Bank Wait 1, and then the depositing destination as the farm silo, and it's configured to come and unload our harvesters as we are working. So I can just press start and the auto driver is going to drive off, and even if I get out he's going to be on his merry way. He's going to turn left and go down towards South Bank Field 1. Now we have to be a little bit patient with these guys. They are from the AutoDrive Academy, as I mentioned, so yeah, they've got a bit of learning to do. But off they go. Right, Nordic and I will go and jump in the harvesters and we can get to harvesting. Right, here we go. We're in the harvester. We've got the header. Nordic is missing the header. He needs that. And one thing we are going to do while we remember is we are going to set ourselves as South Bank Wait 1. And that means that the driver's going to come and find me when we are ready to unload. I will drive down to South Bank Field and then we should be ready to get started on our harvest with both drivers ready and waiting for us. Here we are at South Bank Field, where our canola is a nice golden brown, and we got our two drivers here ready and waiting. Fantastic. So yeah, we'll get hitched up to the header, and the idea is that Nordic and I will be freely available to just crack on with the harvest, and our AutoDrive drivers will do the carting for us, and they will drive off full trailer loads. I think once they get to 85% capacity they will get on their merry way to the farm silo and unload automatically, and then drive back to come and meet us. So yeah, it really is quite a cool system, the AutoDrive mod. So I recommend using it if you can. It's a PC only mod, so just for clarity. Right, let's get the harvester unfolded and we can get started. Yeah, so Nordic is ready to start, so we'll get the harvester cranking and we can head on into the field to start our canola harvest. Fantastic. Now the driver's going to know that I'm ready to unload when I put the pipe out, and I think we'll probably put the pipe out at 50% or thereabouts, so the driver's got a good amount of time to come and catch up to us. But yeah, as I mentioned, these auto drivers are relatively amateur, so they're not perfect, they're not foolproof, so we'll see how we get on and manage it. But yeah, again, credit to Nordic, who has set up all the tracks and waypoints for this to work, and I look forward to seeing it in action. So we're going to crack on and get this harvest all done, and see you when we're finished. It's not coming to me. Right, I'm on 100. I don't think my guy's coming. I think he got stuck. Oh dear.
A few minutes later.
Oh, go on. Hey! Although my guy is not following very well at all. Ah, what the f*** are you doing, man? Now he's turning. Lovely job, mate. You just f***ing driving the crop, you absolute Ugh. Knows where my guy is. He's probably on a lunch break. He's coming. Hurry up, mate. Seriously, mate? Ah! Now you figure it out. Right, let me try and loop in. This is a disaster. I think your guy wants to do a turn right in front of my guy. Oh, the calamity. My guy looks quite proud that he managed to flip the other driver over. Don't start reversing, man. Come on, we had it perfectly set up and now you're f***ing reversing. Come on. I put my pipe in and out. Wave him in. Come on. Here he comes. Summon him. Here we go, now we're talking. Just keep going, don't stop. I think the straw is the straw coming out of my harvester is going straight into the air intake of your lorry. I think he's gonna overheat in a minute. Like dodgems. I think it's my guy causing all the trouble now. Look at him. Why is he doing that? And there we go. That is the last of our canola deposited into our AutoDrive helpers. And you would have seen that it was quite an interesting endeavour, that's for sure. We, oh dear, I've unfolded the header into the AutoDriver. We don't want to do that because they get confused as it is. So let's just pull forward and try and straighten up the unfolding hitch. There we go. So yeah, it was a very interesting affair harvesting that with the AutoDrivers. They are definitely apprentices, hence why I called it the AutoDrive Academy. And I think they have a fair bit to learn, if I'm honest. Alright, so we're hitched up now, so I'm going to go into the AutoDriver and we will switch him to go back to the silo. So we will send him home and hopefully He's then going to go off to the silo. Yep, he is. So I'll see you later. And Nordic and I have tested this obviously quite a bit during this harvest. And we think that we could probably do it faster, just harvesting and then carting ourselves. Obviously we have to take a break from harvesting when we do the carting. But the auto driving has been very interesting to trial. Nordic and I are heading back to the yard now. And of course there are a couple of pitfalls with auto drive itself. Sometimes we found the drivers were finding it difficult to track our waypoints and our location. And as you can see, some of them like to drive through the crop, despite having the setting of not driving through the crop. And they do sort of enter and exit the fields at interesting points. But nonetheless, it was very interesting to try it. And it definitely has some potential for doing the labour-intensive jobs which are repetitive, like taking items to various places. So as an example, taking slurry from the cow farm to the BGA, or taking hay from the grass dryer to the cows themselves. All of this can be automated using the AutoDrive mod. So, I guess as a result, conclusion, it's very good. We have enjoyed using it. It definitely has some pitfalls with it finding you in the field. So there's some alternate approaches that Nordic and I have thought of, that we could potentially just have the trailers parked at 2 different points in the field. We drive over to it and unload, and then we just use it for the carting to the silo. Or we could look to introduce some sort of auger wagon to actually come to the harvester, take whatever we are harvesting, and then drop that to the trailer, but they're waiting at the side of the field that can then drive to the silo. So there's all sorts of approaches that we could take with this, and it's quite interesting to see where we can take it in the future. But as a first go, I think that's a fair old effort. Now driving off to the silo. So we're going to get the harvester washed up whilst we wait for that. Right, that's all clean, and I'm just going to see how these guys get on with the unloading. So one unloaded successfully, and then the second chap is unloading in here. There we go, the trailer is unloading. And this is quite good that we can automate it in this fashion. And now that he's unloaded, I guess he's going to go back to the field waiting point, and we can come and collect the trucks up later on. Yeah, AutoDrive has worked reasonably well for doing the carting, and I think Nordic and I got a bit of practice to do with regards to the trucks coming to find us in the field. Oh dear, well I'm blocking this guy, so we better move the harvester and get them serviced. There we go, both harvesters parked up quite nicely. So next we are going to be on to drilling the field we just harvested, South Bank field, and I think we're going to put sorghum in. So Nordic and I need to go grab a tractor, grab the Seed Hawk drills, and then we'll be on for the final job of the day. So I'm in the Zarian, Nordic's in the Fent, and I think we're going to mount dual wheels to this, although the drill can be pulled quite nicely with single wheels. We should really be using dual wheels for better traction. So let's head on in and get dual wheels on both of these. Right, that's some rather beastie tyres set on the Class Zarion dualies, and Nordic is kindly filling up our air cart for us because we were busy trying to sort that out. So let's attach to the drill, and Nordic will kindly bring the air cart over for us to get. Okay, taking a short break to set these workers to go back to the cow farm. So we'll let them head off, and then we might ask it to do some slurry runs down to the BGA. Off it goes, very excitedly. Okay, so we are in the man truck with the slurry tank, and I have set the auto drive up for pickup and deliver. So it's set to the cattle slurry load, to unload at the BGA slurry unload, and to transport slurry. So if I click yes, there we go, started loading up already, and I think it will keep repeating that until it's full. In fact, we probably want to see about setting this to do multiple trips, because I think there is a good amount of slurry. Yep, I think it can do 50,000 litres a load. So we'll let that fill up. It's going to repeat that 4 times. And then in the meantime, I'm going to get this parked up. And we should be able to start our drilling fairly soon. Right, we are back. And I'm just loading up the air cart to the drill. There we go, it's done another funky little pop-up. And we want to select sorghum, because that's what we are going to be drilling in South Bank Field, now that we've harvested our canola from it. And we'll follow Nordic over to the field, if I can drive straight. Okay, so we are at the field. Our slurry driver is now returning. I'm going to go about and unfold, so I can follow Nordic. Very nice. Interesting to see our auto driver doing some runs. Okay, so sorghum selected, nearly unfolded. We can get the drill fired up. There we go. Lowered away, and let's get our sorghum nicely drilled. So Nordic and I are going to see to this hopefully rather quick job, because it's been a long day dealing with our AutoDrive Academy drivers. I'll see you when we're all finished. And that's the last row finished. Promised you it would be a quick job, and indeed it was. And I love hearing the air cart spool down, all the fans stop spinning. And yeah, it's really nice when we get a row like that to finish up, because it just means that we were doing pretty efficient rows. And that is our sorghum all nicely in the field. I'm just going to drive around the border to get back to the yard. And we're now at 5 o'clock, so end of the day. It's been a very interesting one. The drilling was a lot quicker than our harvesting job. I think the harvester and the drills are probably they're about the same width, not too far off. Obviously with harvesting comes the challenge of having to unload what we harvest. And this time around we used our apprentices from the AutoDrive Academy, and although they managed okay, there were a few blunders along the way, but certainly has given Nordic and I some food for thought as to what kind of jobs we can set up for them, and it seems like the driver did a good job burying the slurry down to the BGA. We'll check in on that at the end. And also one thing we want to check in on is how much canola we harvested. Now, Cowman Field to the right is probably another day or two away from being ready to harvest. That also has canola. And then Pig Farm Field, which we expanded, as our corn in, and that's probably going to get to the last growth stage next time, so that'll be ready to forage harvest as well. Nordic and I are going to plan to use the auto drivers to unload the forage harvesters pulling the crone cargoes, so that could be a very interesting one yet again. Our slurry driver has returned. I think I might have set him on too many jobs because the tanker can take 50,000 litres. We had 121,000 litres in the cow farm, so it only needed to do 3 loads, not 4, but that's not a problem. I'll get the drills parked up. Done a good job this afternoon. Nice and fast. Okay, so that's everything parked up. Just a quick look at how much canola we got from that harvest. And we have 357,903 litres of canola in the silo. And our reckoning is that we did about 200,000 litres from that harvest. And we had about 157,000 litres already in there. So, yeah, been a good, fruitful harvest. And checking in on the BGA, our worker only did 1 load, it seems, to the BGA. So 50,000 litres in there, so we're going to set him going again and see if we can get him to top that up. But that is it for today. Hope you have enjoyed watching. Big thank you to Nordic for setting up AutoDrive and all of the waypoints and paths for that. If you've enjoyed, remember to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Check out Nordic's channel for his perspective of today's session. And until next time on Calmlands, we'll see you then. Cheers all. Bye bye.